Nate, I love this sweater.
Thank you. I love it too.
It looks like an Airedale on the front.
Yeah.
Official dog walker of Maggie.
Yeah.
Who's Maggie?
I don't actually know. You know what? I found this at the thrift store. I cropped it and I love it. And I want to think whoever used to wear it was probably maybe a veteran and, you know, the army kind of font. And they also love their dog very, very much. And
Yeah, I love that story.
I feel that.
I feel it too.
Oh, well, what about you though? I love your sweater right now.
Thank you. I like the
cute.
stained glass kind of like cuffs. But I actually haven't worn this sweater in such a long time. I saw
How
it
long?
like 3 years.
Oh my God.
Like a while. And I saw it and I said, I'm wearing that today.
Aw.
And so I did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What made you? Just cause?
Just cause.
Yeah. We love it.
Well, welcome back to Can't Think Straight. I'm Harriet.
And I'm Nate. Welcome back, everyone. It's so good to see you.
Hello.
You guys are joining us for a very special episode. We are interviewing two people that we seem to really enjoy. A very beautiful member from the Divine Nine, as well as the owner of our favorite bar right here in Boone.
So put on your seatbelts and your thinking caps because the new episode of Can't Think Straight starts now. Beginning with our interview, we have Lauren Bryant. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated here on campus, and she is the Vice President of Programming on the National Panhellenic Council.
Ooh, and she is a social work major. You gotta give respect for that.
Absolutely.
And I gotta say, she has very beautiful lashes.
She really does. All right, Nate, let's get this interview started. Hello, everyone. Today we are interviewing Lauren Bryant. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the NPHC Vice President of Programming. Lauren, hello. How are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. How are y'all?
I'm good. It's nice to see you here. I'm very happy for this interview.
Yes, I love your outfit. Looks so good.
Thank you.
Of course. So with that, let's just go ahead and hop into the questions. So I know that AKA's motto is exemplifying excellence through sustainable service. Can you explain what that means and what kind of philanthropy you guys do?
Yeah, so another one of our mottos is service to all mankind. And so with that, we have 5 targets, which we try to reach with all of our programs. So HBCU for Life, A Call to Action, Women's Healthcare and Wellness, Building Your Economic Legacy, the Arts and Global Impact. And so each one of our events centers around one of those targets. And they usually switch around every couple of years or so, but basically we use those targets as guidelines to help us, I guess, do events that help reach out to students and other people. And they're just awesome, you know, ways for us to give back to the community, not just in Boone, but just around North Carolina, and to give back to young people as well is very important to us.
Yeah, that's amazing that you offer a safe space for, you know, to not only for students to come into their own, but to also help that community and that engagement.
So Lauren, I understand that the NPHC plots and gardens are a sacred space for not only AKA, but for other sororities/fraternities as well. So what events take place there?
It's kind of like the central spot for homecoming. So alumni, members of organizations will come back to the plots and they will take pictures there. This usually happens every year. We even sometimes have a competition on like who has the biggest alumni members coming out. But yeah, so sometimes videos and stuff like that for NPHC or for individual organizations are filmed there. Definitely a space for like cookouts and stuff like that around, you know, early on in the year when it's warm.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so it's just a really good space, and we always like to highlight it. And I did Apple Core as well, and so when I give tours, I like to bring it up and mention just the significance of the space itself. Even if we're not there all the times we are there are very meaningful. So.
Yeah, I know that when I gave tours as well, you know, it's good to highlight, and especially, you know, if there are people in the tour group that are members of any of the sororities or fraternities up there, to go visit and go see like their seal on there. So it's I don't know, it's awesome. It's so great that you guys have stuff for alumni.
Yes.
I know that Appalachian has 7 out of the Divine 9 historically Black fraternities and sororities here. So with that being said, like, what does it mean to be a part of the Divine 9?
It's very special in itself. It's such an honor and a privilege to be part of my esteemed organization, to be part of a circle in general of people who are highly motivated, who are looking to make an impact through service and through scholarship and sisterhood, brotherhood. It's just really an honor to be given this space, especially at a predominantly white, university. And it just means a lot to me because I have seen a lot of personal growth. I've seen myself basically have to become more confident and be more out there and to network and to really work with others. And that's been such an amazing experience. And I'm just so grateful for my sisters and for Omicron Kappa for just always showing such support and love, and for our graduate advisor for being such a solid and reliable role model. Yeah. So it definitely has allowed me to just see so much maturity out of myself, and to it really has just changed my life. And being the first AK in my family is also a big deal.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so thank you. And so it also it just bring me up to another, I would say, just level of womanhood and another level of understanding myself and how I want to create an impact for others.
What's it like being in a historically Black sorority at a predominantly white institution?
It's interesting. NPHC itself, we are very close and tight. Everyone knows each other. Everyone is very welcoming and friendly, and wants to support each other at each other's events and stuff like that. As far as the university goes, we are in the process, I think, of getting more support and getting more recognition. And even the article that just came out in this interview and everything like that, our name is getting put out there more. But definitely it can be challenging sometimes for us to for people to know about us, especially Black students who are here who are interested. They may not know that we exist. And sometimes it feels like we have to be the voice for ourselves, in the sense that if we don't bring it up, if I don't, mention it to new students, they just may never know. Yeah. And so, but like I said, to see that shift of people beginning to reach out, even athletics department, they've been reaching out, and so we might do some collaborations with them in the future possibly, but it definitely is helping us get our names out there and for people to learn, who we are, as well as the other sororities and fraternities.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, and Harriet definitely knows, that there is a yard show and a stroll off. So please, can you tell us what is the significance of those and the difference between them?
So basically, it is a way for us to showcase our pride for our organizations. So a yard show and a stroll competition, so basically they can be separate or they can be the same. So a stroll is traditionally what we do, that y'all see, where people are in a line and it's only people of that organization, and they are doing a specific dance or movements, sounds, stuff of that sort, just to show their pride for their organization. And so we do that more regularly. It can be done basically anywhere. And then Step In is also like a huge part of Black Greek-led organizations. It goes back to our history. So step shows are kind of like another way to show pride for your organization. And we don't have them too much because they are a lot to put on, because you got to be on top of,
on point.
Yeah, right. You can't just go out stepping crazy. So we don't have them often, but when we do, it's definitely a lot of fun. And either way, it's nice for us to get the opportunity to stroll and to step, so people can see, yes, we do scholarship and service and all of that, but we're also fun, and we're also very proud of our organizations. And our letters in.
So what ways could we better support not only AKA, but the other members of the Divine Nine?
Yeah, well, that's a real good question. There's just so many ways for us to get support. I think our main way right now is just people, it could even be as small as just people sharing our flyers on their social media, or putting them in emails that are sent to a lot of students, or just talking about it with their friends or with faculty. Just a good way to get the word out that we're here and we are active and we are on top of everything we need to be on top of. Also, I think, so there's a lot of people who are in the Divine Nine who you can just kind of go up and talk to as well. We all have our lanyards on us, and it has the name of our organization. And so if you see somebody with a lanyard, maybe go up to them and be like, hey, what's good, what's going on, have a conversation with them. Is even a good way to meet them, and to maybe even get to know like the chapter at some point. Coming out to our events as well is very important. We don't just have our events for NPHC, we have our events for everybody, and we love when a lot of people come to our stuff. So definitely coming out and showing support and, you know, educating others and not just necessarily relying on NPHC to educate is also very important. And like I said, you know, reaching out to us for opportunities, because I know my organization, at least, we take up a lot of opportunities. We love when people come to our door and they want to do collabs and they want to do projects and stuff. We value that service. So, yeah, there's just so many different ways to support. And, you know, it doesn't have to be a whole big thing, but even one level of support is better than nothing. And so it means a lot to us.
Right. Well, if you guys ever need anything from Can't Think Straight, we'll always be here for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Of course,
thank
no
you.
problem. And not just AKA.
Right, anything.
Everyone, you know.
Would you like to plug any sort of Instagrams, though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where can we find you? Where can we find your organization?
Okay, so we are Omicron Kappa 1908 on Instagram. I don't believe we have a Twitter. Definitely follow us on Instagram. Very active on there. Our Instagram's cute. It's cute. We got the little stories and stuff. So y'all should definitely follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. Absolutely, we will.
And then one of my sisters, her name's Carolyn Martin. She is very active on Apps Campus, and so she's definitely somebody you can like go to as well. So yeah, basically that's the plugs that I have for y'all. And then ASU NPHC as well.
Okay,
on Instagram.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really liked what you said, like not only relying on the members of NPHC, because it's important to just go to their website, read.
Right.
Yes,
you know?
yes, get informed. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
I've had so much fun.
I really
I want you to
enjoyed
get so much fun.
It
I was
was
thinking
fun.
the same thing.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we're going to go back to the episode.
Yes, back to the episode, back to Nate and Harriet.
From
in
the future.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Harriet, what a thought-provoking and wonderful interview we just had.
Absolutely. I learned a lot. And it's important to have these conversations.
It really is. And it's important for our viewers watching who are interested in joining an organization like AKA or NPHC to know that people like Lauren are going to be a part of it, and you know, you're safe, you're comfortable. Yeah. She's a great person. Yeah, thanks Lauren again for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you know, she was awesome, amazing.
Yeah.
But let's transition and talking about some different queer spaces here in Boone.
Yeah, you know, I'm really interested in thinking about how there are certain spaces either on campus or in the greater Boone area that are great, you know, spaces for anyone to sort of feel heard, feel seen.
Feel safe.
Yeah, feel safe.
I think it's so important to have, you know, queer bars for queer identifying college students, because you know, college is a great time for people to start learning about themselves, and having that space available to students is very helpful. I mean,
considering places like bars, like that's usually good if you want to sort of meet new people and maybe, you know, see people that are just common with you and like, you know, maybe you want to date or something. But, you know, you also want that to be a very safe space as well in order for, you know, things to happen organically. And
so Nate, we are both 21, aren't we?
We are actually. We might not look it, but that does mean we know a thing or two about bars.
I cannot confirm or deny, but we usually go to one. But this is our all-time favorite, and that is Lily's Snack Bar.
Lily's Snack Bar. I love Lily's so much. They are such a wonderful establishment, and they preach inclusivity and are anti-hate. I really hate hate.
Yeah, me too. So lucky for us, we got the chance to interview the owner of Lily's, Seth. What a great guy for taking the time out of his extremely busy schedule to talk about his bar.
Seriously, I mean, it's really important. But we have a special treat with this interview as well. One of our very talented associate producers, Ariela Allen, is going to be on the scene interviewing our main man, Seth.
So make sure you stay tuned for this exciting interview that will take place after this very short break, so don't go anywhere.
Do you like video game news and entertainment? Well, App TV's original gaming news channel Pixel Peak is back for our 8th season. Every other week we discuss news stories, give a game review, display gameplay, and more. Be sure to check out our new season bi-weekly on Thursdays at 3 on WatchAppTV.com, Sky Best Channel 20 and 1020, Spectrum Channel 198, or on App State's Campus Television Channel 23.3. Thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you next time on Pixel Peak.
Hi, I'm Kinsey Adams.
And I'm Jalen Sturdivant. Connected Cultures is back for spring 2022.
We'll be talking to you about Mexico, South Africa, the Netherlands, and much more.
We've got great interviews with staff and students.
Seth will show us how to make some delicious meals.
We'll get you connected to the amazing cultures around the world.
Tune in every Friday at 10 a.m. for new episodes of Connected Cultures.
You can watch online at watchapptv.com or on campus on channel 23.3.
Bye.
Hi everyone, I'm Ariela Allen, and here with me today is Seth Sullivan, co-owner and co-founder of Lily's Snack Bar in Boone, North Carolina. Join us as we discuss communal allyship, inclusivity initiatives, as well as alcohol's impact on it all. Seth, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Let's begin by discussing Lily's origins. Where did this name come from, and how has it impacted its welcoming environment?
I own my partner. 3 of my partners and I own the Cardinal as well. And when we opened the Cardinal, we thought that we were going to open a bar, and we realized about 3 weeks into opening the Cardinal that we had actually opened a pretty busy family restaurant. So we were like, well, great, this is awesome. It is awesome. We do love it. But we were almost immediately we started looking for a space where we could open a bar. A few years later, this space became available, and we went into business together and began working on what would become Lily's. The name comes from, so the Cardinal is obviously named after the state bird of North Carolina. The state wildflower of North Carolina is the Carolina lily, and we all commonly shared experiences with our grandmothers. And Lily happens to be the name of one of my business partners' grandmothers and another's great-grandmother. So the combination of the Carolina lily and those names is how we got Lily's. Yeah, I think that does play into it being an inviting space because it goes back to that like table at the home kind of vibe.
Right, and I love how that community vibe not only extends to you and your business partners,
Right.
but also to the rest of the state of North Carolina
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That is such a great idea. So continuing on that personal note, you and your partners are all straight, white, cisgender men,
Yes.
and yet you founded a bar that has a reputation of being a queer bar among students at App. How does acknowledging your own identity play into a sense of communal allyship?
Yeah, so the founding principles of Lily's are fun, respect, community, and quality, right? So I'm not going to go through each of those with the bullet points that are under them. But when we sat down to talk about the space that we wanted to create here, those were the goals that we set out. And part of being a good community member and showing people respect and creating a place where people can have fun is just allowing people to be themselves. And I think that the most important piece of allyship and things I've gathered from communication with friends of mine who are people of color or LGBTQ plus is that really being quiet and just listening and allowing folks that don't often have the ability to take up space to take up some space is kind of the most important thing. And that's kind of what we've always tried to do with Lily's is the reason that Lily's has that reputation is because we are just we try to be kind and we try to be conscientious of people's safety, and we let the customers kind of drive the vibe, you know. And I think just creating a space that's safe and respectful for everyone, a byproduct of that is that folks that don't feel safe other places do feel safe here.
And I really like how Lily's has created that safe environment, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Although you might be a little bit quieter and you're listening to others, you've still put a lot of work into making sure Lily's is that space.
Right.
What kind of inclusivity initiatives do you implement with your team specifically to create that safe space for minorities?
So we've done trainings with Oasis. We're actually doing another one next week during spring break based on being active bystanders. And that comes from my partners and I have all worked in restaurants for, like 20 years apiece, but in bar environments specifically. And bars usually aren't, I think we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but, alcohol makes things more interesting and more complicated. And we really try to train our staff to be aware and to offer help. That doesn't mean that things don't happen here that happen at other bars, because things happen everywhere. It's an unfortunate byproduct of the world we live in. But staff training, trying to amplify voices of LGBTQ folks on staff and people of color on staff, and listening to their advice about our best practices.
You touched on this earlier, but what is alcohol's impact on that, and how does it challenge Lily's as a safe space?
I mean, alcohol, if the world was a perfect place, we would all be able to cut loose and have a good time and not have to worry about someone else taking advantage of us, or someone starting a fight, or any number of horrific things that can happen as a byproduct of alcohol consumption or drug consumption or whatever. That's not the world we live in. And as a business owner, there's only so much of that I can even control, but we try our best to make people aware that if they are feeling uncomfortable, or if they did have too much to drink, or if, God forbid, something even worse is happening, that they can come to a staff member or a bartender or even a line cook and say, hey, I feel uncomfortable in this situation. Can you please help me? We have stuff posted in the bathrooms. We have Narcan, nasal Narcan and injection Narcan on site for people who might overdose on drugs.
So with all of this training and preparation and cultivating Lily's as the safe space for others, what has the response been amongst minority communities, particularly the queer community, to Lily's as a safe space here in the high country?
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of interaction on social media for members of different communities talking about how much they love the space. I've had personal conversations with customers, people on our staff have, where people are express gratitude and thankfulness for the space that is created here. And again, I go back to, I'm glad, it makes me feel really good that people feel that way, but really that's about them. And it's, our customer base are the people who create that community. And that is awesome. And that is like, as a person who lives in this town and plans to live in this town and raise a child here, that's the world and the community that I want to create in Boone, is a place where people feel safe,
And I feel like that goes back to the communal allyship we touched on at the beginning of this interview. And I love that mentality of it's the customers who create the culture, because if the culture is here and the people are here, that safe space will also arise. And for customers who are really interested in coming out to show their support at Lily's, what are some upcoming events they can look forward to?
Okay, so we do trivia every Monday night. We're about to start doing karaoke in the weeks after spring break. On Tuesday nights, we're going to do karaoke. Thursdays we have bands, or we have emo night like once a month. Friday we have bands a lot, and Saturday we do dance parties. The next on March the 12th we have a drag show. Actually, we also do a drag show once a month, and that we'll have a dance party afterwards. And the queens are going to stick around and help host, and it'll be a good time. That's on March the 12th.
Wow, well, I'm sure most of our viewers will agree with me in terms of having good vibes, good food, and intellectual stimulation. I don't really think we can get better than that, y'all.
Thanks.
Seth, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
I've really enjoyed speaking with you about the power of community allyship, as well as creating a safe space for minorities here in the high country. It's such an amazing thing to do, having Lily's be such a reputable queer safe space right by campus. And to all of our viewers out there, please come and partake in the conversation by showing your support and coming out to Lily's events in person over the next few weeks. Until next time, I'm Ariela Allen for Can't Think Straight. Have an amazing rest of your day, everybody.
Ariela, thank you so much for being such a wonderful and talented interviewer and question asker.
For real, how are you so good? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Also, thanks to Seth for coming on the show and for being willing to answer all of our questions about how Lily's is perceived as a queer space. So we really thank you for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I gotta say, whenever I go out, I find it really hard to figure out what to wear. That's so much pressure.
It really is. I could not agree more. I mean, except that's how I kind of feel getting dressed for anything, including today. I did not know.
Did we have this issue the other night? Do you remember how it went down?
I think I do.
You think so?
Let's try and remember together.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Harriet.
Yes.
Billy's Shack and Bar is having a drag show tonight.
Yes, I saw that somewhere. We should
Yeah.
totally go.
Yeah, Neosporin's gonna be there.
What? Neosporin. I love Neosporin.
Me too.
So you know what that means? We have to get ready.
Yeah.
So it's time for a
Fashion show!
This isn't working.
I know, I feel so stupid.
No, I do too.
Kinda cute though?
No.
Okay.
Outfits look ghastly, but they don't have to be.
Do you hear that?
Try on the
Kinda.
color and beauty you shall
Yeah,
see.
kinda too. What is that?
It's a card.
Yes, I know it's a card, but like, what is it? It says Fashion Fairy.
Yeah, what did she say to do to it?
She said that we had to cry on it.
Cry on it? Well,
Yeah.
I can cry on command.
Oh.
I just might need you to hit me.
Oh, really?
Harry, I know our bond is strong and it might be hard to... Ow!
Did it work?
Yes.
Bibbidi bobbidi bitches, I'm here, and I can help any fashion need. Ew. That's gonna take a lot of work. Let's get to it. I'm such an artist. You're welcome. Okay, my Uber's here, so.
Ooh.
You cold?
Yeah, thanks. Gosh.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I like her outfits.
Yeah, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
but-
That was a lot.
Yeah,
Do you just want to stay in?
definitely.
All right, cool. Aww. These guys on the TV are so cute.
Okay.
Yay. Love it.
Wow, what a lovely, funny memory that was.
Yeah, for real.
I don't even, it was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Big thank you to our one and only fashion fairy, though. We can always count on her to aid us in our very, very amateur fashion ventures.
Very amateur
Yeah.
fashion ventures. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Looking all crazy and dancing crazy is good for?
What?
Dance parties.
Really?
Yeah.
Dance parties, DJ sets, and drag shows? Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that I always get so hyped whenever we
Me
get to see any of those
too.
things.
You know, it's sometimes hard for me to go out, but once I'm there, I am there.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to stop dancing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, it's lovely. It's lovely to have bars like that who do DJ sets and do drag shows and just make it an environment that everyone can come and just scream and dance and have a great time.
Yeah, and feel safe while doing it.
Exactly. And I mean, I don't know. I love bands, of course. I love going to house shows, but sometimes I want to go to a DJ set. I want to go to a dance party.
Yeah.
I love club music. You know, we need clubs in Boone, right? Maybe
Yeah.
something like that.
Clubs and Boone.
Yeah.
Well, Nate, it looks like it is that time. The end. The episode is over.
It is. We really got to stop talking,
No,
don't
for,
we?
No, for real. Our crew hates us, so we do have to stop talking. They're mad at us. But a huge thank you to our guests this episode. First, thanks to Lauren Bryant for coming in the studio and taking her time to talk to us about NPHC, aka and the Divine Nine.
Yes, and another huge thank you to Seth, owner of Lily's, who gave us great insight on what the bar stands for. Also, thanks to AP, Ariela Allen, who killed it in the interview.
Absolutely. We hope you laughed and learned a little something about our home of Boone. We're going to keep you updated on everything queer and queer adjacent right here on Can't Think Straight.
Bye. He said, how long did it take?
Then I said, what?
It said, will we come back? Sorry. It's just, the questions I asked are just